Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. Today I want to talk about this Nina Simone movie. I want to share my thoughts. This movie has generated a lot of discussion online, and the reason why people are talking about this movie is because actress Zoe Saldana plays the role of Nina Simone. As many people know, this actress is a light-skinned black woman. Even though she denies that, she denies being black for the most part. She wants to downplay her ethnicity, and I'll talk about that a little bit later in this video. But you have this light-skinned black woman playing the role of Nina Simone, a dark-skinned black queen. So, in order to play this role, this woman, Zoe Saldana, wears what is essentially blackface. She wears dark makeup. She wears prosthetics so that she can supposedly look more like Nina Simone. But she really doesn't look anything like Nina Simone with this makeup on, with these exaggerated features. She looks like a modern day minstrel. She is making a mockery of this great woman, Nina Simone. And that's a disgrace. And I want to talk about this for a second. See, many people don't understand why we are up in arms about this. In order to understand it, you have to understand the history of the minstrel show. You have to understand the history of blackface in this country. See, there was a time when there were no African American actors. There was a time when the only time you saw black faces in the movies was when a white person wore blackface, pretending to be a black person. They weren't pretending to be black to honor black people or to celebrate black culture. What they were doing is mocking black culture, attacking black culture. They were humiliating black people, degrading black people, dehumanizing black people. So they exaggerated our African features in order to make us look less than human. They would wear pitch black makeup. They would wear white makeup around the lips so that black lips would look huge, or red lips. They would wear red makeup to make the black lips look huge. And they would act like buffoons and idiots and clowns, making black people look ridiculous. That was the image that we had of black people back then. We had white people imitating black people, making fun of black people, making us look like animals. So eventually they moved from a time period where you had white people pretending to be black to a time period where they actually allow black actors to play black people. But they even made those black actors take on the role of minstrels. They had those black actors wearing blackface, acting like idiots and buffoons, acting like damn fools, to perpetuate negative stereotypes about black people. So that's the history behind the blackface. And that's why many of us are outraged that you have someone in this modern day era where you have a black president in the White House. You have all these symbols of supposed progress in society. But yet this film decided to take a step backwards in time. They decided to take a step backwards to the era where you had minstrel shows. There's no reason why they had to have a lighter woman play this role. There's no reason for these people to have this woman in blackface. And there's no reason for this woman to voluntarily take on such a minstrel type of role. I saw clips of the trailer and I was disgusted. I was disgusted to see this black woman making fun, whether intentionally or unintentionally, of a black queen, Nina Simone. by wearing this ridiculous makeup that looks hideous. And on top of that, her acting is horrible. She doesn't sound like Nina Simone at all. Her accent is horrible. It's a disgrace. See, this is what happens when we depend on others to tell our stories. When we depend on the white man to tell the story of our accomplishments as a people, or to just tell our stories, to bring our history before the world. This is what happens. This is what happens when you don't have strong black voices in the room to push back against the nonsense. This is what happens when you have a supposed black actress who has no consciousness at all. She has no racial pride at all. She has no racial identity or any kind of racial consciousness. This woman has said things that makes it clear where she stands on this issue. This woman talked about how she's uncomfortable talking about race. This woman talks about how she runs away from people who use words like ethnic. She said things like, there is no such thing as people of color. She's made other statements to basically say she doesn't identify with being African American or with black people. So someone with no consciousness at all, one of these new black people that think that they are beyond race. Those people that don't have a clue. Someone that is clueless like that won't have any problem wearing blackface. They don't have any problem playing the modern day minstrel. These people are a disgrace. They are a disgrace to our race. There's no reason why they had to have this woman wear blackface. There are plenty of dark-skinned black women that could have taken on this role. And I've read a couple of articles about this, and I will include links to those articles, but a few names come to mind. As one of the articles pointed out, Lauryn Hill could have played this role. Lauryn Hill is a great singer and actor. She would have been perfect as Nina Simone. Then you had a sister, Tiana Parrish. She would have been great as Nina Simone. Some suggested India Arie would play a great Nina Simone. There are so many great actresses that could have played this role. Beautiful, dark-skinned women that could have taken on this role without the need for this modern-day minstrel show. It is a disgrace that something like this still happens in this modern age. It's an absolute disgrace. This sister, Nina Simone, was a black queen. This sister is a model for what our entertainers should be like. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. Not only was she a great singer and produced, beautiful music, this woman was concerned about the plight of her people. This woman did not live outside of time and space and reality. She dealt with the reality of being a black woman in America during a turbulent time, during the turbulent times of the 60s, during the time of the civil rights movement and the Black Power movement. Instead of divorcing herself from that reality, she embraced it. She talked about black pride in her music. She talked about the struggles of black people in her music. Powerful songs. And I will include links to some of those songs so you can hear them yourself. Songs of protest. She used art as a weapon against oppression. It's a sister like her. She is like an example. She's a precursor to what you see today. When you see a Beyonce putting on a political performance, or when you see somebody like Kendrick Lamar. And before them, you had people like Marvin Gaye. And, you had hip hop that was conscious at one point. Public Enemy, X Clan, things of that nature. Her music was conscious along those lines. And it's an example that people continue to follow today. For that reason, I say she's a queen. And that beautiful black queen deserves better than a damn modern day minstrel show. So I encourage people not to watch that movie, not to pay to see that movie. See, we have to stand up and realize that our dignity is primary, and we can't sacrifice our dignity by supporting a modern day minstrel show. I encourage people that want to see a movie about Nina Simone. You can see a great movie that's on Netflix right now. It's titled What Happened, Miss Simone. It's an excellent documentary about Nina Simone's life. I encourage you to check that out instead of going to see some modern day minstrel show. Peace.